sell out during this, since it's like a sponsored content by ASUS. Right. Sup guys, it's desRow. Welcome back to Bronze to Master episode 7. Today we're going to try to get out of gold. There's a viewer guide. If you haven't checked it out already, it's going to be in the description. It doesn't say all the builds step by step, but it gives you like a decent like guideline of like what happens in this game versus this or that, and it's just a good viewer guide. And sometimes the builds repeat themselves, so if you want to see the same of the build in different maps, different situations, the viewer guide is really good. So let's get to it. I am in bronze rank 31. There are new maps. Did we play the new maps last week? I think we might have played the new maps last week. Last week was the 17th. Yeah, we played the new map last week. I've had more experience with the new maps now. They're a lot of fun. Just a little note to the guys on the stream: if you have any questions, make sure that they're about the game, because I really want this 1 hour to be only about the game, so that you guys can learn if you're watching the VOD on YouTube and stuff like that. Alright, so first question coming in. Immortal all-in and PvT on 2 gate or 4 gate, and how many? And in spite of all my gates, what's the proper timing? The proper timing, I don't know. This is a build I haven't done in a while. It's not a build that you see very often. Koreans do. Hold on.
You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals.
When I do it, it's usually with 5 gates and 2 immortals. But you can definitely go earlier, and I would definitely do it off of 2 bases instead of 1 base. I feel like 1 base all-ins are really predictable. You can see them from a mile away, and yeah, all-ins are the best when they're on 2 base. Alright, so to begin the session, we have a PvZ. I'm gonna show you guys a build that I've been having a lot of fun with. It's an all-in, it's nothing macro, it's a lot of fun. You're gonna have to take a little bit of a risk. My sound feels a little louder than before. Right, I'm gonna put it at 25, sorry about that. Alright, so this build, gate expand, or Nexus first rather, and 2 gate expand. So you're taking a little bit of a risk, you know, if there's a 6 pool. This map is kind of the best for it because it's so large that people don't really want a 6 pool. But anyway, so we're gonna 15 gate, or 15 Nexus, 15 gate, and we'll take it from there. The name of the build is 7 gate, 1 gas all in. Now, if you can put 2 and 2 together, that means you take 1 gas in the main, you skip the mothership core, you get warp gate, and you just go 7 gate and you try to all in them with gateways. Now, the execution of it is a little bit tricky. It's definitely going to require you to step up your micro to do your best. But yeah, as long as you don't lose your stalkers, as long as you don't lose your proxy pylon, you should be able to get a lot of mileage out of that build. So let's put down the Nexus at 15, rally the Nexus right away, don't lose any time. 15 gate, follow up, you want, it just works, that timing, you get warp gate quite early and so on. What is a good time to take your 3rd versus Zerg? Usually a good guideline would be anytime later than 9 minutes and you messed up. Like 8, 8:30, those are usually good times to take your 3rd. It always depends on the build you do. It depends on the build you do, and it also depends if they're playing 2 base instead of 3 base. So if they're not grabbing a 3rd and they're going like, let's say 2 base roach, then obviously your 3rd, it's okay if it's at 10 or 11. But most of the time, it's around 8:30 that you want your 3rd, unless you're committing to an all-in. Alright, so the game's gonna start to pick up. I might not be able to answer every question. So we're putting the cyber at the ramp so that we can wall off if we have to. He's got an hatchery. It's not hatch first, unless... Okay, so I said 1 gas, right? The thing is, you don't want this to be obvious that it's 1 gas, so what I do is I grab both gases. Whoops, I haven't been probing from here. Alright, my multitasking is struggling a little right now. Alright, I've done this build at GM level. The build you're about to see, I've beat GMs with it. It's actually my friend Liquid Ret who complained about that build quite a lot, so I was like, you know what? Let me try it out. So this guy doesn't have a third. A little bit of a weird situation. We'll make the most of it. You want to chrono your probes at first. Get up to at least 10 probes, and then the rest of the chrono will go on warp gate. So we're gonna go up to 7 gates. I do this build, so he's got a gas. This might be a little bit tricky because he's got a gas. So my stalkers are not gonna be free to roam around. But most Zergs these days, they don't grab the gas that early. Let's try to not lose that probe. Okay, we didn't lose the probe. That's nice. So I want 3 gates on my wall. Second stalker follow up. That's when you start chronoing the. It's when you start chronoing warp gate. Sorry for like having like the camera going a little crazy over there. Alright, 3 gate at the wall, and then we're gonna put the pan on later on after the gates. Okay. So usually what you want is 3 stalkers out of your gateways before. So we're at 6 gates. I want 7 before you get warp gate. So I'm making the 3rd stalker. I've got a probe here. I'm gonna try to and also one thing is you kind of want to try. It still doesn't have a 3rd, so we're gonna have to do this versus a 2 base. I'm not sure if I would recommend this off of a 2 base. I've never tried it actually. Because people usually grab their 3rd by 5:45, even if they have a gas. But anyway, the pylon, you always want it. Next to a wall, so that the links can get a free surround on it. So you see, I was on 1 gas because I got 3 total, so that's like kind of 1 gas. And you see, like my stalker count is not the biggest. But that's how you do the build. Oh, it seems like he's gonna try to bypass and just go on my main. He's gonna make a zealot. Okay. I'm not sure he realizes what's going on. Yeah, he's got a few spine. He realizes. But yeah, the point is, you have a limited amount of stalkers, so you're gonna have to be very careful on not losing them. Making sure you always have zealots with your army. And just like that, this guy, let's see what this guy was doing. So this guy started his gas. His drone production, obviously, weren't gold, so his drone production was a little lacking. But he was trying to get away with getting a lot of upgrades for his links. But he didn't recognize that the build I was doing was very aggressive. What this guy would have had to do would have been no Evo Chambers, maybe a Roach Warren, or just no Evo Chambers and no 4 gas and just a lot more Zerglings and a lot spines. But I'm pretty sure you have to 3 base versus this to have the larva, to have enough larva to beat the amount of units I can produce. So just like that, we take the first game very easily. I don't think that guy GG'd, so we're gonna GG for him. The rushes in StarCraft are not OP. They take a while to understand. A lot of people, they play the game and they struggle to beat the rushes, and they don't really try to analyze why they lose to rush, to cheese. So yeah, it's not easy to beat a rush or to beat a cheese, but you have to do your best. All right, we're gonna do, what can we do here? Maybe Stargate. Trying to look at the chat for questions that I might have missed. Oh my god. Alright, doesn't seem like there's more questions. Like I said, any question about the game is always welcome, so I want this to be educational. We're gonna go... We're gonna try to do an Immortal expand build. Now, keep in mind that's probably the weakest of openers, but it's the most passive, therefore it makes it a lot easier, alright? So I've had, actually the last game I played before starting Bronze to Master was a little delayed because of that. The guy that I played did Robo expand, and I did sort of a faster expand than him. My expand was maybe like twice as fast or twice as early, but yeah, And he did just fine, you know, he got into a macro game. So the advantage of doing an Immortal expand is that since you're building Immortals, you'll be able to use those for Warp Prism Harass, depending on if he's expanding or not. So if he's got a faster expand, then you'll be able to try to get back into the game by doing Warp Prism Harass with Immortals. So we want to scout after the gases. The reason is, if you scout before that, your Cyber Core is going to be really delayed because you're going to be missing out on a bunch of minerals. So, little thing to keep in mind. How can I survive a 6-pool Zerg rush on Protoss? So, the way to beat that is, if you're going for a Forge expand, you need to just give up your natural and start rebuilding from your main. Whoops, I'm supposed to scout with that. You start rebuilding from your main. So you'll build a cannon in your main mineral line, and you'll just forfeit the natural, so you'll forfeit the forge and the pylon that you have here. And then you start building a cannon in your main, and then you make a gate, and then you try to fight with all your probes without losing them, just to buy time for the cannon to get up. So, so someone's asking, I died to a fast gas versus Terran. So assuming you're dying to aliens, and fast gas is not how you call it gas first. So someone who's making the gas before the barracks, and he's making a lot of aliens, you just need to chrono out stalkers and have like 2 stalker on hold position at the ramp, and that way you're gonna be blocking the aliens from running inside your base. And then you go 1 gate expand, 1 robo, and 3 gates total. So so you're still expanding, but you have enough production to beat whatever he's throwing your way. So I'm waiting for this probe to leave. As you can see, we were about 100 minerals or 150 minerals late on the robo, but I don't want him to see it. This probe right here is a little too adventurous. I think we should have waited, but I still went for it. We see, what do we see? We see Blink being researched. Can we expand? I think we can expand. So we'll make a sentry. As soon as the robo finish, we'll make an immortal. And just like a robo expand. So it's a little bit of a cheating. Oh, what the hell? Some of the settings are weird. TP 30 sec, please. Alright. This gameplay is like a smart camera. It used to be called smart camera. Control? Oh. Yeah, see? This thing right here, I don't like this because you saw it like slowly dragged out the screen. It should be jumping. It should be jumping. So like I did this and it slowly went, but you want it to be jumping because you want to be like you don't want to be wasting time, even though it might be harder to it might be harder at first to get used to it. He was chronoing Blink. Yeah. Just ask questions, guys. You can't. Yeah. Right. So we'll make an observer. The observer will help scout. Oh, I'm supply blocked for a long time. Whoops. I kind of messed that up. The observer will help me kill whatever detection he has to come up my come in my main base. If you have any like long questions, try to wait in between games, because I want to like explain what I'm doing as well. Alright. So he's got a stalker. That's not enough to know if it's Blink or DT, but okay. Stalker. Make another immortal. Usually like okay. Make sure. Well, that pylon wasn't gonna get up because eventually I would have photon overcharged anyway. Let's try to see if there's an observer around. Actually, let's go straight for his army so we can see the size of his army. Yeah, this is Blink. Put on a recharge. Okay, so he lost the Stalker and the Mothership. So he no longer has Time Warp. He's making more Stalkers, but because we went Robo Expand, it's no problem. I really thought that Stalker was gonna die. So we can chase him out. Okay. So I sent out my observer so that I can see. Yeah, but that didn't work out for him. Yeah, he was on one base, so it really didn't work out. Do you think that Proxy 2 Gate is still an okay start? Proxy 2 Gate's a cheese. You're not gonna learn much. You're gonna learn how to micro your zealots, but it's not gonna be enough to improve. Not aliens, Widow Mine / Tank drops. But the same goes for what you said. If it's a gas first, instead of chronoing probes, you'll just focus chrono boosting stalkers. And you make sure you get your 3 gates ready by the time warp gate finishes so you can warp in a lot of units. If I open gate expand versus Terran and I choose to make Twilight blink on 5 minutes, my Robo will be at like 6. How do I defend some early proxy mines? You don't. You die. But you're by going blink, you're taking a risk. So you have to live with the consequences. One trick you can do is after the Reaper comes out, you try to get back into their base with your scouting probe, and then if you see that there's no factory and no barracks, then it's most likely a proxied factory. One thing you can do too is instead of chrono boosting blink, you chrono boost stalkers. So like 3 stalkers will kill a Widow Mine pretty quickly. But yeah, that's why like sometimes blink openers are not that great, because you're risking a lot. And you might just straight out die. desRow I play Zerg. Is there an opening I can practice against Protoss to improve that matchup? That's a very good question. I think Zerg is reactive in PvZ. Like you have to scout, and you know if they're going blink, then you want to do roaches. If they're going immortals, then you want to do Ling Hydra and that sort of stuff. You know, you always want to play reactive instead of just having like a build set in stone. I think. I mean, I'm not a Zerg, so maybe their mentality is different than what I think it is, but that's my advice. desRow is Immortal expand like you just did the safest macro build. No, not at all. I think I would have struggled if he went like Stargate all in. I don't think I would have been able to win if he did Stargate all in actually. But the way PvP works, I need to scout after 15, after my double gas. Whoop, not the right probe. Anyway, the way PvP works is Robo greater than Blink, Blink greater than Stargate, and then Stargate greater than Robo. That's like a simple way to look at it. That doesn't mean that if you win Robo and you win Stargate, it's an automatic loss. But Robo is like the least favorable of them. Because you don't have mobility, like an Immortal takes a long time to make, and because of Warp Gate mechanic, you need to be anywhere, anytime. Like if you see an opening and you want to pressure, you need to be able to do it, and an Immortal is just like, it waddles very slow, it takes like 2 chrono boosts to be made. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be going for a Stargate here as soon as I get the gas. Okay, let's go. Just like that. Okay. So that what that does is that it delays my mothership, so that I won't be able to rely on... I will be very weak versus gateway pressure, and I will be very weak versus an oracle if I decide to make an oracle of my own. But here I see a twilight, so the best response to that is to make one oracle into a twilight myself. That's... oh, I kinda... oh, I'm gonna be supply blocked for the oracle. I kinda messed up. If I don't answer your question, just ask again in between games, and I'll try to get to it. It's it's the first time I do Bronze to Master, and I get this many questions, so it's kind of cool, but it's kind of a lot to handle. I can't take it all at once. But yeah. Oh, he's got... oh, that could be DTs actually. Actually, that's probably DTs. Let's make a sentry. So my twilight that I just made is not very useful in this situation. We're gonna chrono warp gate. So I got a sentry, so I can force field the DT, and we'll just make a wall of zealots. And oh, I'm supply blocked again. Whoops, that's actually really gonna hurt, because then I'm not gonna have detection. Because there's nothing better than to apply pressure. Oh, see, the mothership core is not even gonna be there. So as soon as I can warp in and make another oracle for defense. Oh, I think it's... I might be killing myself with that oracle. I canceled the oracle.
We meet our fate. The stars align. We interpret.
11 kills. That's all. That's gonna be really hard for him to come back. So I did. So I'm going into Blink. I canceled the oracle. That's a risk. That's a risk that it's not that, like, I'm just gonna bring the oracle back. I have my units on hold position if I need to. Keep in mind, like, I skip mothership, and that's like a risky thing to do. Like, this is I probably should be doing this kind of build when we would be diamond and not in gold. To be honest with you guys, but it kind of ended up working out that way. He's got a few stalkers, but it's not enough for me to feel completely safe. So, because it could still be DT, so I'm gonna leave the oracle and the zealots at home, and then we're just gonna push. Okay, so I have a pan on here. And I've killed so much with the oracle that I can expand and attack at the same time. I'm that cool. You don't get cooler than me in this game. The sentry didn't really need to come with the push. Actually, let's just take a look at how easy this is going to be to win. Okay, the hallucination's gonna come in. So he tried to get a few sentries to defend himself, but it wasn't enough. Like, even if he did photon overcharge, I would have had just enough to kill a lot of probes. I could have just killed every probe and then blinked the stalker that's low HP, and then yeah, or just even attack the Nexus. You know, he pulls the probe. It's not a lot of damage. The probes don't do a lot of damage. There is no Immortal. Okay, desRow, I know PvP is kind of hard counter matchup, but what do you think is the safest macro build? I do a 2-gate expand with a Robo, 2-gate expand Robo, or 2-gate 3-stalker expand sentry, 3 sentry, or sentry Robo, 2 more sentry. I think I've done it before. If you look at the viewer guide, I'm sure you can find it. Here's the viewer guide in case you haven't seen it before. Let's see if there's a few questions I missed. What is the general timing DT's attack with one base? That's tough to say. Tough to say. Like, it can be really early. Like, if they do 10 gates and they have nothing at home but one pylon, so you know that the second pylon is proxying a Dark Shrine. In that situation, it can be really early. It's hard to tell. If it all goes down to timing and either having some detection or having units on old position at your ramp and having a sentry ready to buy even more time. Sometimes even put up 3 pylons to wall yourself in. It just comes down to like feeling him out, you know, with your probe, with your scouting probe, what you see, and then yeah, there's no right or wrong answer. Like some people will do it like they'll do proxy Stargate and to proxy DT. Protoss is a nasty race, so you can't trust your Protoss opponent. Alright, so we have a PvT. We have a PvT, and I'm gonna do Blink into DT into Colossus, alright? So this is what we're gonna do. 7-minute DT sounds very late, yes. Yeah, Bronze 2 Master is always uploaded on YouTube. You can check out my YouTube channel. There's 6 episodes so far. The show always goes for an hour. So we've been going at it for 30 minutes now, almost. Right, so I kind of like this map, because walling off versus a Reaper is not too complicated. Like, you just put a pylon right here, and it's walled off, and then you can put a Cyber Core right here. There's definitely worse maps than this for versus Reaper. I should have done 15 gas. So you don't want to stop pro production, even if it's for like half a second. You should feel bad. That's like the kind of mentality you need to have. Like, not feel bad to the point of like you want to like slap yourself over it or something like that, but being self-aware of things you do wrong, to try to not repeat them is the way to victory. That's how you improve. This guy's got a really late gas. Not sure what he's up to. We're gonna get out while we can before he makes a supply depot. Victory. Oh, actually I can't. Oh, this pylon was a little late. My second pylon was a little delayed, and I couldn't put down the core, but now I can. It's just a little bit delayed. Okay, make sure the probes don't bounce too much. This is not a bouncy home? No. What's the... okay, whatever. This is Bronze 2 Master. I was gonna make a joke about, you know, like the little balls that you play in? The bouncy house, I think it's called. Anyway, moving on. Cancel the Zealot if there's nothing blocking your natural. Oh, Vibe hosting me for 300 viewers. Thank you, buddy. I'm doing Bronze 2 Master. So maybe some of your Zerg fans and viewers will enjoy seeing the other side of Protoss. Anyway, so Mothership, Pylon, Stalker, Warp Gate, and yeah. So next step after that will be the Twilight Council. We still don't know what he's doing. We haven't seen a Reaper, we haven't seen anything. So this is a little bit of a risky play. We're taking a risk. It might pay off, it might not. Okay. So we're gonna put the Twilight up here. A little bit harder to scout. Chrono probes. Keep trying to scout with the Mothership. With the Stalker, we're gonna be an adventurer. We're gonna go check out the bridge, see if there's anything coming. Any shipments of Marines. Transfer the rally point. This build, I do 2 gates. Well, let's get another Stalker. Because you definitely want to have enough units to defend Widow Mines and pushes and stuff like that. Okay, so second gate. What else do we have? Second gate. Okay, so we checked out the bridge. Nothing was coming. I want to be home to defend anything coming my way. After Blink, we're gonna get the Robo. So you see, that was a 5-minute Twilight and about a 6-minute Robo. A little bit delayed than that. We're gonna get the Robo before third Stalker. Just because I don't know. If I knew that he was going bio, then I'd get the Stalker before the Robo. So see, like, a lot of people, they ask for builds, but there's always little adjustments like that you have to keep in mind when you play. That will help you defend. So when you watch your own replay and you see, like, oh, he was pushing, go back and see, like, was there something I could have done differently? And most of the time the answer is yes. But some people, they'll just stop at that, and they'll be like, ah, you know, he did this build, my build wouldn't be able to win, and they stop. Like, they blame it on the build order loss, rather than their own play. Anyway, I feel like my guesses were a little bit late here. So the goal of this build is to... I probably would have liked to proxy the Dark Shrine. It's obviously too late now. But as soon as we get 150 gas, we're going to put the Dark Shrine down. These Stalkers are there to apply light pressure. This is a DT build after all. We're a dirty race and we play Protoss. As long as we accept it, then we can grow. Chrono Blink, get the Warp Prism, get the Observer's gonna help us. What's nice about this map is it's very wide. There's a lot of angles to attack. Now, I have nothing at home. I have no forge. I have nothing, literally nothing. I'm like a homeless person. All I have is a cardboard box to protect me from, like, the weather. This is the mothership. But if there's a Widow Mine coming and it's snowing, that doesn't mean much. Can I actually, is this thing? I think I can. Okay, I can't do that. I thought the second thing wouldn't reach. And I could... Okay, so I want to go Colossus. I want to go Colossus and double Forge. I want to add more gates. Let's see if we can accomplish something on the other side. So this guy's going mech. It's not going to be fun.
I am the voice of the eclipse. We are one. You require me.
Well, he's not moving right now, but... Okay, so I have a... I'm gonna start the Colossus at home. Well, as soon as I can, I guess. And then the DTs in the main. You want to split some DTs. It's usually a good way to go about it. Okay. Colossus. Oh, I'm supply block right now. Okay, I wouldn't recommend making this many DTs, but I feel like I can finish the game. Oh. Okay, well, he lost everything in the fire. Alright, well, that didn't really work out for him, but we're gonna GG for him. Alright. Yeah, that's the build you were talking about, Wei Thay. But, like I said, you take the risk. If he would have gone for Proxy Factory, I probably would have been in really huge trouble. Because it's really hard to stop Widow Mines from walking in your base. Although, I think the way this map works is really bad for Proxy Factory, so... Without thinking about it, I kind of took that into consideration. Well, I didn't, but that helped me, I guess, make the right decision. Yeah, this build is pretty good. I sent it to the subscribers. I'm probably gonna be making a guide about it. Let me see who did that build. It was Ero versus Bjorn on Deadwing. If you want the YouTube VOD, I'll put it in chat. That's just a great, and I'll put it, I guess, in the description on YouTube. Alright, so we have another Terran. What could we do to mix it up? That's a very good question indeed. Someone asked about an Immortal all-in, so I guess we could do that. We could do that person a favor. Is it a good idea to go Twilight after Robo if the opponent goes Phoenix in PvP? Yes. Phoenixes are really tricky, and without Blink, you will have a really tough time beating Phoenixes. You will just never, you will always be caught out of position. So, Blink is definitely an option. You can also, you can skip Blink and try to feedback the Phoenix. But that requires good observer positioning, because, you know, let's say, like, let me put down my gate and I'll explain what I'm talking about. So let's say this is a PvP, right? And let's say this is a PvP and he's got Phoenixes and he's going to your natural, he's going to your main. So you put an observer here and you wait for him with the Templar right here, so that when he goes from the natural to the main, you're ready to feedback. It's a pretty good move. The problem with that is, if you're not paying attention right away, a Templar is very easy to lift and kill. So it can be a very expensive, very risky way to get rid of some Phoenixes. And even sometimes, if the Phoenix is full HP or doesn't have a lot of energy, sometimes that's not even going to be enough to kill the Phoenix. So Blink is the most reliable way, but if you feel like you're not really good with Blink, you can try Templars, because a cannon per middle line is not going to cover everything. You put a cannon here, you can still come here and lift, come to this part and lift some probes, you know. So if you put a cannon here, if you put a cannon there, then the same goes for this gas, you know. And putting two cannons in the mid game to beat Phoenixes, like 2 cannons per middle line in the mid game to counter Phoenixes, is just very expensive. 2 cannons per base, that's 600 middles, that's 4 gates. And you need those gates for your production. You can't afford to just put it in cannons like that. So this guy, going for an early command center. There should be a Reaper. There's no Reaper? Oh, I'm surprised. He forgot his orbital command. He's got a lot of gas. Is he going for Proxy Factory? So, like I said, I want to do an Immortal all-in this game. Another hour of Bronze 2 Master. You're enjoying it a lot. Well, next week, man. Next week, I'll do this every Saturday, so just come back next week, catch up on the VODs on YouTube, tweet at my sponsor ASUS USA to tell them that you love the show and that you want more of it. Who knows, if you tweet enough, maybe I'll do the show twice a week. Who knows? Alright, so we have a Stalker. We're doing the Immortal. We're doing the Immortal, so an Immortal bust. After 2 Immortals, we'll be attacking him. But in the meantime, we need to bank up energy on our sentries. So we're going to chrono a little bit of probes, and the rest of the chrono after these 2 chrono is going to go into Immortals. I'm not adding gates right now because an Immortal is 250 minerals, and as you can see, while making probes, I'm about there. So okay, the Immortal started. Now I can add more gates. We can add more gates. And this build, what I do is I stay around 8 workers at the nat. So I'm done making workers pretty much. Get another sentry. Get another gate. Keep chronoing the Immortal, very important. And actually, I messed up. So we're going to cancel the sentry because I forgot a pylon, and we were going to be supply block for another Immortal. Be supply block and not have enough gas. Like, that's two very bad things. I want a probe ready to warp in a pylon on the side of the map, and we're going to go up to 5 gates. Like I said, I haven't seen an Immortal all-in a while in pro games. This is my version. There might be a more optimized version somewhere else, but with this, you should be in a decent position to get the work done. Let's get a pylon here. So the problem, well, not a problem, but the risky thing here is obviously moving out. We don't know, let's say he's got like 15 Marines. Moving out with this army, I would obviously lose the Sentry and the Stalker, and maybe one of the Immortals. So you want to kind of test the water with the Stalker first. Okay. It's going to be a total of 3 Sentry. 3 Sentry is about right. It gives you enough to force field. It gives you enough for 1 Guardian Shield. Right. We're going to get another pylon, and then you want Stalkers, but you also want Zealots, because Zealots are very good at tanking the damage. And the Warp Prism, I don't know if I recommend a Warp Prism. I made it, obviously, but I mean, it will distract him. Oh, actually, this is going to be very easy to beat. I'm waiting for the Zealots to reinforce. Whoops! I kind of messed that up. I'm gonna mess that up big time. But we're gonna be okay. That was an interesting turn of events. Bronze to Master, where sometime the Master looks like a bronze. All right. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me scroll up. Is the show supposed only to be 1 hour? Let's make it 2. Yeah, the show's supposed to be only 1 hour. There's a lot of commentary that goes into it. A lot of people, like this guy, for example, they think beating up on lower leagues is not cool, but I wouldn't be able to do this at master level. I wouldn't even be able to get like 10 minutes into a game where like everything would break down, and I wouldn't be able to execute what I'm talking about. So by being in Gold League right now, we'll make it to Diamond eventually. It really shows like the level of what people are facing. So you'll see like weird builds from the opponents and so on. Let's see. So we have a Zerg. Well, let's do an Immortal all-in. I'll show you an Immortal all-in. It's like a quick 4-gate pressure into an Immortal all-in, and it works like really, really super well. Yeah, I don't think I lost a unit other than the Warp Reserve. That Terran kind of That's why, like, tanks are not that good. You know, imagine if that guy had, like, bunkers and, imagine if that guy had bunkers instead and, like, midivacs instead of tanks. Alright, so... crap. My pylon's really late. I was reading the chat. Crap. 10 pylon for the win. So we're gonna be doing Forge Expand, and then we're gonna be expanding after that.
You must construct additional pylons.
Or we're gonna be doing Forge Expanding and expanding after that. Wow, look at me. Look at me, Mom. I make a lot of sense. Alright, so we scout on 9 because we want to see if there's a 6 pool, 10 pool, early pool. This is why we scout on 9. Now, the drawback of scouting on 9 is that if you're playing, like, if you're in Diamond right now, if you do this, most Zergs, they realize that if they're getting scouted early, it's not a gate expand. So, that's the drawback, because if they realize, like, it's an early, they just go for 3 hatcheries a little bit quicker. Not necessarily hatch first, because you can cannon rush them, but because if you're going gate expand, the Zerg needs to get a gas. Usually, some will play gasless for a little while and just double gas, but most will just go get a gas and get a delayed third. But yeah, that's like a little bit advanced. We're still in goal, so let's focus at what's going on here. So I'm scouting him. I see this is like make sure he doesn't get cannon. That spare drone with the forge. So that was a hatch first. So there might be a third hatch on the way that I'm not aware of. I could have just delayed my forge and my cannon, or my forge and my gate, for quicker pylon, so I can produce more. Alright, so get the cannon. Chrono the probes. Scout again. I want to, because he doesn't have a third so far from what I've seen, so I want to check if he has a gas. That's what I'm looking for here. I want my gases as well. Okay, maybe he took this one on the low ground. It would be very unconventional, but maybe this guy likes it better that way. I don't know. I don't know him. So we're gonna make sure to scout. Get the cyber core. Make sure we don't cut probes for too long. And no, I guess he just likes to 2-base. There's always a small chance that there could be hatchery inside my main base. Oh, what the hell? Okay, I guess I took a while to scout it. Or maybe I scouted it and I was too busy talking. So yeah, with the third hatch there, so that was 15 hatch. So hatch before pool, and then third hatch. And he's already mining gas from 2 gases. So I guess he wants to get to lair. Maybe we're gonna see like quick hydras, quick roaches, or maybe just sling hydra. It's really hard to predict exactly, but those are my thoughts for now. Mothership in the main. Pylon so we don't get supply block. Oh, not in the main, at the natural, sorry. Like that. Oh, I wanted to save that probe, but I don't. I'll just get a new one. Okay. So I have a lot of chrono boosts here. I want to get +1, and okay, so the goal of this build really is to be going for. Hey, can I save that? Oh, I won't be able to save that. Oh, I saved that. Well, I'm impressed by myself. Okay, so the goal of this build is to go 3 gates, and then a Robo. And what it does is it gives you enough. Oh, nice supply block again. Yeah, I am. Rip. It gives you enough to like start Immortals really early, but it also gives you enough pushing power to do to do some nice damage. So he's got a spine ready. He's got a decent amount of links. I expect him to. I'm not gonna be casting Time Warp here, obviously. Oh, I think I messed up the timing of my gate because only one gate is ready. That's usually not how it goes. Yeah, I could have avoided losing the Stalker there. I don't know if he's going to get speed anytime soon, so I want to keep fighting until I like figure out what's going on. As long as I don't lose all the Stalkers, I'm okay with the outcome. Okay, on the gas. We're gonna try to kill one of the... That's really weird that he would take his lair there. Okay, and then you see the timing, like I'm just gonna walk home, because if I can save the energy for another time warp, that's always great. Let's chrono the gates. You see the time, like that's pretty, oh, am I gonna be able to save that? I should be able to. Does he have... What does he have? I don't see any upgrades yet, but the fact that he double gas might mean he's got like Evo Chambers upgrade. Alright, so I grabbed the gas, but I forgot to fill it up, and I forgot to probe a little more as well. Oh. Okay. So Warperism's coming up, the gates are gonna finish. I'm gonna get back up to 16 probes here in a second. And then it's just like an Immortal all-in, but there's a first phase to it, an aggressive phase. This build is really popular lately by a Korean named Super. This Immortal all-in is nothing new. It used to be people would do Sentry drop into an Immortal all-in, so it'd be a lot quicker, but it'd be a lot weaker at first. So that's the difference, really. So we got the gate. Okay. Get the Warp Prism going. And the Warp Prism, like, you don't want to warp from it, because you want to be able to lift the Immortal if you have to. Like, the last thing you want is to lose an Immortal. An Immortal is really expensive. It does a lot of damage. What I do is I press M. Hold on. Oh. We should be okay. So you see, like, my Immortal's taking a lot of damage, so if I can have my Warp Prism on top of my Immortal, then the odds of me losing that is pretty slim, right? Making a few zots for the back, making sure the Immortals are attacking the roaches, and yeah, just like that, the game's over. I'll explain what I meant with the Warp Prism as soon as this guy GG's. Yeah, okay. GG. Alright, so let me explain. So the way it works, right, is if I click on if I take my Warp Prism and I click on the Immortal, it picks it up. That's not convenient. Now, if I hotkey the Warp Prism, then it can be annoying if I want to like just take my if I have to press tab or whatever, you know, or I can like misclick like that. So what I do is I have the Warp Prism on a different control group, and what I do is when the Robos rallied like this, and it does the same thing with Medivacs. If you have like your starport or whatever like rallied like this, as soon as it reaches the rally point, it's gonna pick up. So whether it's an Immortal, Warp Prism, whether it's like an Overlord or a Medivac, it's just gonna pick it up and it's gonna mess up the rally point. So what I do is as soon as the Warp Prism comes out, I just press M. Now, M is the move command, and what it does is it just follows it around. So I don't, it's the same as if taking the mothership and clicking on the unit, then it's like a move command, but for the Warp Prism, you gotta press M. And that's what I do, and as soon as, since like it's following your Immortal, then you can like lift it, and then they can never kill the Immortal, and really saving your Immortals is like the backbone of your army. Like, you never, well, that and the sentries, you would never want to lose that. So if you can like pick up whatever is in front that's about to die, like this, like that, like this, like that, and then you unload at the back after, is how you want to micro an Immortal all in. Evil chambers? Evo chambers. Did I say evil chambers? Alright. So since we have a little bit of viewers, I'll extend Bronze to Master for like 2 more games, alright? You guys seem to be having fun. I'm having fun. That's all that matters. What was I gonna say or do? I forgot. Let's just search for a game. Ripperino. Encore, indeed. So we have another Terran. Okay. Alright, so we have Terran. Do I have the sound? Yes, I do have the sound. Alright, so we did the Immortal. We did Blink into DT with Colossus. Alright, so this guy threw me a little bit of a curveball. I'm still not sure what kind of build I want to do here. Maybe let's rush a Colossus. Like, yeah, let's rush a Colossus, alright? So here's the deal. A lot of Terrans don't understand this. Photon overcharge is not a big deal. I know if you're Terran, you're watching, I just shattered your world. You're getting up from your chair, you're shouting at the screen. You're just ordered a pitchfork on Amazon and you want to stick me with it. You're like, oh my god, this is not true. Photon overcharge is OP. It's not, alright? It's not. But the bright side for us, guys, is that everyone thinks it's OP. And my point, okay, I have a point here. Don't you think I'm going nowhere with this? So people are afraid of photon overcharge, and what that means at lower levels is that you can get away with a really early Colossus rush, because once you pop photon overcharge, they just run away. Now, at my level, if I don't have like a couple gateway units to force field, whoa, this guy went ham, and oh, that almost didn't work out for him. But at my level, if I don't have a lot of gateway units, I can't. It's really hard to justify rushing for a Colossus. So the point is, this build is harder to do at my level. It's doable, but at your level, it should be a little bit easier. Now, the difference is instead of going 3 stalkers to be safe versus everything, we're gonna get 1 stalker, and then we're gonna get like the quickest Robo bay you'll ever see. Usually, my Robo bay is around 7 something, 730. Not exactly sure right now, but here we'll just get it right after the Robo, maybe even before the Observer, depending on how things goes. Now, given these spawning locations, scouting with the Mothership Core is very convenient. Like, if this would be cross-map and he killed my probe, I would just suck it up and play a safer build. Because, you know, I don't want to take the risk of losing just because I want to get a greedy Colossus build going. So there's little difference, you know. If you're listening to this, you're in Diamond, it's not the same at every level. It's really not the same at every level, and you kind of have to adapt, and that's kind of the beauty of Bronze to Masters. We get to see different and reactions. Whenever I do something, they react differently, because that's just how it goes. Not everyone plays the same, depending on their league most of the time. So we got a Robo going, and after that, nothing from the gate. Here we scout CC in base, and we scout. Not sure, maybe he's gonna go for tanks or something. I really wanted to get that CV. Alright, I don't think it's a third CC. It could be a third command center, but it's very unlikely. And it kind of makes me a noob to even question that, but we're gonna scout it regardless, just in case you're not sure. Okay, so we're gonna get out. So maybe just quick medevacs. Is there a tech lab on this? No, there's not tech lab. Alright, so maybe just quick medevacs. Maybe just like mixing in Widow Mines for safety. So anyway, Robo is finished, so we're gonna get the Robo Bay. I don't like the positioning here. It traps my probes in if I need to pull away. There's only this entrance and this entrance and this entrance. I guess it's not that bad since there's a few more for that mineral line, but blocking entrances to your mineral line is not something you want to do. Anyway, so an Observer and straight Colossus. Now I have the build on my second monitor, because this build I recently picked from Quick Colo. So this is a Quick Colossus. We're just gonna do the Quick Colossus version, alright? So this build is nothing new. This build was done a lot early Art of the Swarm, because like I'm saying, everyone thought like, oh my god, photon overcharge, I cannot do anything. By the way, those gates are really late and I'm floating money, but just don't look, alright? Close your eyes. So you see, like at 7:30 I started my first Colossus. Like off of this build, if this guy didn't have a weird factory, which might be tanks or something, or quicker medevacs, if his factory wasn't super early, I could do just a Colossus all in from this position, because it's gonna be really hard for him to have enough Vikings to defend whatever I throw at him. But now in these positions, by the way, because he's bottom, I take this base, and if it was cross, I would take the one on the low ground. But yeah, see, like he's already making a medevac. So because of that, I don't want to be doing any Colossus all-in, because I could simply lose by being out of position. You know, attacking comes at a cost, and that cost could be not being able to defend medevac drop inside your main base. So something to keep in mind. Now I have one Colossus already. Look at all the Marines. This is free food. I could even just push and kill him. Would kind of defeat the purpose of playing a macro game and explaining more stuff about the game that you guys probably don't know. But let's just do it. Just to show you, like, if he loads up and leave, then we're gonna call it off. And maybe if he has, okay, I was gonna say if he had the watchtower, maybe he was gonna pick up and leave, because he cannot beat this army. Like one Colossus versus this many Marines, if there's no Marauder, your Colossus reigns supreme. Oh, he just loaded up. No, okay then. You see, there's only 2 Marauders, and I can control the pace of the battle because I have a total of 4 force field at my disposal. And I'm about to have range too. Like, just look here. This is a good example. Okay, well, I kind of derped it just a little. Okay, I kind of derped that just a little bit. And with the floating, for the spare money, I can grab my third. But you get the point. Like, if you have Colossus and he doesn't have Vikings, you can do a lot, especially if it's only Marines. It was a lot of Marines. Like, if I would have had maybe like 2 Zealots in front of that Colossus, I would have been a little bit safer. Rip. Okay. Maybe I was a little too careless. I'm paying the price of my, what's the name? My, arrogance. Okay, kill the Widow Mine. Move up the Observer so I have high ground vision without having to move forward. Kill the medevac. And I can keep pushing here, as long as I control my units properly and I don't... Losing all of this could hurt. Focusing the Marauders the way to go here. Because yeah, the SCVs, like, they do some damage, but STEM units do a lot more damage than an SCV. Colossus joins the battle, more Zealots. Oh. He doesn't seem too happy. Well, I guess the only gas is left. Whoops. Whoops. Alright, so that was interesting. But yeah, if we go back to like the build order here, you can see like it's a 623 Robo. And my first Colossus was started at 730. That's like, that's insane. Insane in the brain. Or was that started at 730, or was that... Yeah, I guess so. It was started. I'm never sure if it's like when it starts or when it... Yeah, it's when it starts. Alright. I don't look at that build order page too often, alright? Don't judge me. Alright, let's see. Another game or two and then we'll call it. If you have any questions, just use @desrowfighting in chat. How do you deal with biomine? Colossus is a great way to beat mines because they outrange the mine by quite a lot. So yeah. If it was PvP and my opponent did the Colossus strategy, how do I counter that? If they go quick Colossus, on one base, it's really not that good. Just make an Oracle and kill their probes. In PvP, how can I choose if I go 2 gates after tech or to have 3 or expand and then get 2 gates? I see a lot of Koreans do 1 gate tech expand blindly. Well, the thing is, it's not blindly. They get some information from their probe, from the Mothership Core scouting, from the Stalker pressure, from the probe dying after scouting, like around like 6 minutes. So there's a few ways to go about it, but yeah. Alright, so I haven't done it today. I know I've done it like once or twice. We're gonna do Nexus first and to gate expand, and we'll be going macro with a lot of sentries, and we'll be scouting a lot. We'll be scouting a lot. Get the music going. Right. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we have the... Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll through chat for some questions. I don't see anything right now. There's a weird discussion in chat. But it's okay. Alright, so Atch first. And that drone was just going out to take a third Atch after pool. So Atch first into pool into third Atch. Sorry, Bronze 2 Masters only Protoss. I'm not qualified to commentate other races. I wanted to learn Terran so I would be able to do it, but I haven't gone around to it. And I don't know if I ever will. Oh, I think he was gonna take the third, but I kind of didn't stop to look. Okay. So we're making probes, and as soon see, he was scouting with the drone. So I thought that drone was gonna take a third, but he scouted with it instead. I want to see if he's got a gas. If he's got a gas, then it's good for us since we're playing macro. Oh. I kind of took my time to scout. Oh, that's 6 Zerglings. So what we're going to do is we're going to chrono... Are we going to chrono? We're going to... Do I chrono here? I might not even need to chrono. I feel like because it was Atch first, his Zerglings are late. So I can probably just cut probes right here. Like right here, and just wall off. Ah, take that back. I wasn't able to. He shouldn't be taking this fight. Alright, we'll be fine. Even if there's any more links coming, with the wall, we'll be fine. Now, what I want to do is chrono the probes. Chrono the probes. Here's a little trick on how to wall. You put him where you want him, and then you click on the pawn on, and then you press hold position. That way, most of the time, that kind of confirms you that he's centered. Because sometimes he might be too much to the left, too much to the right. So usually that's how I do it. You try like really hard, and if we look at this, you see like he's literally like in the good position for that. Okay, so the gas is before the forge, and then the forge. Is that PvT build with DT so good at gold level, do you think, or is it just... Yeah, no, I do that build in GM. You'll get a lot of wins. Blink into DT is good because with Blink, you have a lot of tools to not die to bio pressure. You'll even be able to defend window mines if you play it right. So, no, that Blink into DT build is a great build. It was not a fun build. There's not many builds that I do for fun in this show. There was, I think, episode 2 where we did a lot of all-ins, but that was it, you know. This show's really for you guys to learn. The entertainment that comes from these builds are when my opponents have funny reactions or they say funny stuff. It's not from the builds themselves. Like I don't take guilty pleasure beating those people. Alright, so we're gonna walk out. We have a lot of sentries right now. We're on 7. So that's just good. We could apply pressure if we wanted to, but no, my goal is just to expand. I really want to re-wall this off And we'll be adding a few more sentries. We're going up to 9 sentries. So double gas could be for Roach. Whoops. Oh, could be for Roach. Lots of gas and lots of spine crawler. Maybe he thinks I'm gonna be aggressive. Actually, that's most likely the case because this many spines. I mean, this many spines would indicate mutas. This many sentries versus mutas is pretty bad. I probably should have stopped at 7 before warping any more sentries. But I took a risk and we'll see where it goes. I have enough gas to put down 2 Stargates, which, yeah, okay, this is Muta. He's got like a ton of gas here. We're gonna pressure it. We're gonna pressure it. It might be proxy Spire. This is why I'm scouting with an hallucination here. We're just gonna throw down the 2 Stargates. Get an observer. Doesn't have. He's got a decent amount of links, but with. Okay, so we see Hydra Den, alright, and Roach Warren. This just seems really odd to me. But yeah, with this many sentries, I can dictate the battle, especially since there's no Roach Warren or Hydra's coming. He's got a really weak. I don't want to cancel the Stargate because he could make the Hydra Den just for show and just go into mutas, alright? So that's one thing to keep in mind. There's a queen here left over, so we're gonna go get it. Chrono Blink. The Stargates are finished. Do I need to, So there are roaches. There are roaches, alright. So we killed that. Can I get some creep? Can I kill some creep tumor before I leave? Oh, that's supply block. Not convenient at all. Can I kill some creep tumor? And like, the beauty of this map is it's very easy to force field. I have a lot of force fields, so. Like, if his army was scary, or if it wanted to come down the ramp, I can control what he does. So he really, like, this is a perfect example of how to lose a game by yourself. Like, and I'm not saying that to be mean or anything. This is like, sometimes you'll make decisions which hurt you so much economically that you just killed yourself. Like, I know it sounds pretty grim to say that, but it's a thing. Like, for example, if you take your gases, like that guy mined like a ton of gas, like a metric ton, and that's just way too much gas, so that his mineral income was impacted, and he really wasn't confident into holding his 3rd, and I'm on 3 base and he's on 2, so you like, this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm scouting a lot across the map with hallucinations, because I'm still paranoid of that. Yeah, just like that, you get all the links. We're gonna have to macro a little harder here. Okay. So I got a bunch of extra gates. Do I have a probe coming? Doesn't seem like I have a probe coming. A lot of blink stalkers. I could even go for Colossus. I could even do like a storm drop from that position. This guy's in a really bad spot. Actually, I think this guy might just try to go, what's the name? Like, Nidus. Because I don't see otherwise how he could win. I can't scout whatever building that is. So you... Oh, those were just Evo chambers. I think he killed an Immortal, but at what cost, you know? Oh, there's an Overlord here, but... Oh no, he didn't kill an Immortal. Alright, we'll GG farm, guys. Alright guys, that wraps up Bronze to Master. Let's take a look at today. So today we add a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. So we had 8 games, and so we started with, I forgot what it was. Let me take a look at my replay folder. I think that's gonna make it a little bit easier. Oh, I don't have my replay folder set up for this. Okay. But yeah, we had 8 games, lots of good commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to follow ASUS USA on Twitter. There's a bunch of promotion. If you buy ASUS product, a graphics card, a monitor, if you bought that in the last 3 months, you're eligible for you're eligible for an hour free coaching by me. So if you're looking to upgrade to a new graphics card or a new monitor, ASUS is the right choice.